You might ask yourself, why is his shed so clean? Well, simple. Covid-19. Unfortunately, myself and many other Victorian hunters are stuck at home at the moment. No hunting, no fishing. Times are tough, but you've got to keep telling yourself it's for the greater good. I thought I'd take this time, for one, clean up a bit around myself, but two, give you a bit of background on who I am as a hunter. I actually started off bow hunting. 26 unsuccessful hunts in a row on public land with a bow, self-taught, chasing sambar deer. I was lucky enough to see plenty of deer in that time, but closing the gap to within bow range for myself, as a not that competent, was extremely hard. I ended up hitting 2 sambar and finding neither of them. Blood trails, no arrows, no deer, and it absolutely broke my heart. So then the bow disappeared and out came the wallet. Tikka T3X Lite 3006 was purchased, and seriously, I have never looked back. To all the bow hunters out there, I take my hat off to you, because it is, unless you've been out there and tried and tried and tried, you will never understand how hard it is. Hunting with a rifle can be difficult at times, but hunting with a bow, you guys are incredible, and keep doing what you do, because it's bloody epic. So anyway, Tikka 3006, my first ever hunt, all public land. I'm getting honked, I kneel, I glass, I'm getting honked, I kneel, I'm glassing. Finally I catch an ear flick. All I had to work with was an ear, an eye, and a front of the deer's face. Now I know that that's not a very presentable shot, but I was feeling cocky, I was feeling confident. I took the shot, first deer on my first hunt with a gun, straight through the temple. Anyway, from there, I've just been chasing private properties. I've got plenty of private properties. I hunt heaps of public land. You've got to be in it to win it when it comes to hunting. It's not going to come to you on a silver platter. And the amount of times I've been hunting and come home with nothing is unbelievable. So for all the videos you might watch where hunters just slay it, for every deer they're getting, let me tell you, there must be at least 10 other hunts where they've come home empty-handed. So massive hats off to all you hunters out there who are giving it a go and self-filming. Certainly not as easy as you think. I just want to take you through a few hunts that I've actually had recently. Some successful, some not so successful, but I've got a heap of footage and I'm just sitting on it. So I thought during lockdown, what better thing to do than watch a bit with you guys. First of all was a hunt. I actually got my sister down from Sydney, flew her down. She's right into gathering, cooking, stuff like that. So she came down, we headed to a private property chasing fallow. We saw plenty. Don't get me wrong, they were everywhere. We even saw a buck. A buck. There's a buck right there, can you see it? But the fallow was smarter than us. The fallow knew the fence line, and they knew where they were safe, and they knew where they were not. Why can't we shoot those ones, El?
Because it's not our property.
At one point, we were probably 20 metres from a buck having a go at a young spiker. It was on the neighbour's fence. We were waiting on our side of the fence, didn't cross over. We saw plenty of others too, but all on the neighbour's property, none on ours, such is life. So I took her off to show her some public land to show her the difference in it. And lo and behold, a sambar walked straight out in front of me. As soon as we got to the spot, bang, put it down. It was awesome. Got to teach my sister how to utilise the most out of an animal. She got right in there. She didn't hold back, carved it up. And then she took about 30 kilos of frozen meat back with her to Sydney. Her and her friends feasted like kings and queens for weeks to come. I also managed to sneak away on a little trip with the wife to the Grampians. Now this was no bow, no rifle, strictly lovey-dovey getaway trip. But, you know, when you're standing at the top of a lookout, it's sunrise, and you got binoculars, you're gonna look for deer, aren't you? And man, I found some deer. Have a go at this. Huge, huge herd of reds. I could see them from a country mile away, sticking out like dog's balls. And then I even spotted what I believe to be 2 big mature sambar stags. The footage is a bit grainy, but when I pull back, you can see how far away I was from them. But that is pretty epic. And those deer, you cannot touch them. When we got back to town after the walk, I managed to convince her to go for another little bushwalk. Check this out. How cool is this? Wild deer. It was pretty cool. I'd actually never seen a red deer before, and to stumble across an entire herd like this was next level. As you can hear, the magpies actually started swooping me and harassing me from above. It alerted all the deer, and it's very cool to see how animals in the wild actually work with each other to warn about predators. And finally, my mate CJ came over from WA, brought over all his guns. He's been training hard. I took him to one of our massive private properties we've got with a good friend Kale, and he was very stoked. First Sambar, first Fallow. Check it out. This should be absolutely epic. CJ, you're hoping to get your first deer?
Fingers crossed, mate.
Yoo-hoo! Very exciting times. So, CJ, all the way from West Australia. His first deer hunt, and it should be an absolute cracker. We've got a glorious day. It's going to be on. Yoo. Sun's just gone down over that ridge. We found a nice spot. Sit here till dark, have a glass. If we can't see a deer or three. And then it's time for a feed. We're starving. And I almost let the whole team down. When you're hunting, it's all about teamwork. And a chain is only ever as strong as its weakest link. And you can never forget the ice coffees. Yes. Hey, bro. Wait, bro. I got you. Get it. The doe in front, to the left. Going for the long shot. Ooh. You reckon today's the day you get your first deer, brother? Today's the day. So you just smacked your first fallow, bro. How do you feel?
Yeah, it was good. You picked him up, fed him just a bit further down. It was pretty obscured. There was a lot of trees and stuff in the way. Held out, presented.
Let's go try and get him. Oh, and that is what you want to see, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Look at how bright that is. Look at it. That is definitely lung right there, that colour of blood.
Done some damage, eh, Tom?
Absolute damage, mate. A little bit overgunned. We are chasing Sambar, but let's follow the blood trail. when CJ shot this thing, you can actually see the blood come out. Watch. And it took off, like it ran. I actually questioned CJ's shot initially. I didn't think he'd hit it. And there is so much blood on the ground. These animals are just incredible. What do you reckon? Deer pretty hardy things?
Oh, unbelievable. He's ran into that tree.
Oh, he's he cannot be. Oh, look at all these. Mate, you've look at the fur. It's a lot of fur. Come on, you go first. Can't be too far. Find your first deer, CJ. Oh, wow. Oh, have a go at this for trail. There is a significant cliff here, and I really hope he hasn't rolled off it. I don't know how this animal is going. There is so much blood.
There he's there.
Awesome. First deer, CJ.
Woo!
Oh, thank God for the trees. Otherwise, shotgun not carrying it out of that valley. First deer. Stoked?
Yeah, stoked.
And CJ's put a lot of effort into this. He's flown all the way from WA, brought his gun over, done all the practice back home. He's finally put that practice to use. Epic fallow deer, chocolate one. We dragged it up out of the valley because we've actually found a bit of a forby track. And if you saw what we had to walk up to get here on top of this mountain, you'd understand why we don't want to carry this thing out. So we're going to try drive back. We're going to hang it from a tree, bleed it, leave it. It's going to be pretty cold today.
Yeah.
And go from there. And now you got fallow. What else do you want?
I wouldn't mind a big sambar.
Oh, cheeky big sambar. How easy. We split up. CJ's just taken a shot. I'm hoping that means an animal down. Let's go see. Yeah, got him. Here we go, have a look. Fallow down.
I just spotted him walking. There's another one just down further though.
Yeah, down to his right. It is.
There's a few deer out there.
Yeah, it's good. I'm good. I'll stop her. Wait. Is she blocked?
Yep.
Go. Cheers, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go find something else to clean or tidy up. In the meantime, stay safe, wash your hands, do the right thing, stay at home, and when this is all over, the deer better watch out because we're going to be hungry.